welcome back to Exposed, and if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I'd love it if you stayed and subbed. Trying to get Lisa's videos done, it's like swimming in glue. Every time I think I'm nearing the end, she makes another one. Anyway, I don't want to do this. I so do not want to do this. But Bonnie made a comment about how bad it was. So now I know everybody else will want to know how bad it was. I blame you, Bonnie. Pardon me. So I'm going to get it out of the way. The mental health secrets of the carnivore diet 5 years in. It's like all you have to do is look at her 5 years ago and look at her now and say, do I really want to do that diet? No. Shall we jump in?
Hey guys, it's Lisa, and I was thinking the other day that I really want...
Hey guys, it's Lisa, and I was thinking the other day, really? Is that how you're starting things now?
Hey guys, it's Lisa, and I was thinking the other day that I really wanted to make a video on one of the biggest ways that carnivore, the diet that I eat, has
I'm sorry. Carnivore, the diet that I eat. Well, what else would you do with it?
improved my life. And I think a lot of people would say that it is weight loss, because I did indeed lose over 30 pounds, and I've kept it off for May was 5 years that I have been on the carnivore diet, if you're new here. And that is definitely a fabulous thing. It is so wonderful not to have to worry about clothes not fitting. There's just so much to it, especially like when I'm planning for an event, but that's really not the best thing. The best thing is what's going on up in here. And it is just the feeling that I feel.
Really? People are going to pay you to be their life coach? 55-minute Zoom calls to talk about whatever. The feeling that I feel up in here. 55 seconds.
Every day of my life. And a lot of people, even my parents, will say, well, can't you eat this, or couldn't you eat that? Honestly, I was telling my dad and my mom the other day, I am so happy with what I eat. There is not one day that I am looking or thinking about something else that I could eat. I am so totally satisfied. And
that's why you're closing your eyes and looking away, is it? Okay.
And if you've been here with me on my channel, you know that I do courses. I do a lot of self-improvement. I've also got a course on the carnivore diet, and I'll put all of those down below. And so I'm always learning about different things. And lately I had been studying the nervous system. And then, of course, when you start studying that, you start studying the vagus nerve, and then you start studying how the vagus nerve connects to the gut and all the organs and brings back things back, messages back to the brain. But my job here is, I'm not a doctor.
As her editor just cut out a whole load of waffle where she's talking bollocks and she's not making any sense.
I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just a woman that's been doing this for 5 years. I want to just tell you what I've noticed, what I've thought, and I want to make you curious. I want you to go out on your own and to learn more. Another thing that I've learned is we have neurons and we have receptors and all of that good stuff. It's the second brain, our gut. This is a big part of our serotonin and our dopamine, which are our feel-good hormones. So if you've been with...
is this going to be a fucking lesson on what's going on in your body with Miss fucking Duncan today? Your regular teacher's off sick, kids, so you're having Carnivore 101 with Miss Duncan.
With me the whole time, because I documented every step of this process. You will know that after doing this diet for a week, if not a little bit over a week, I instantly felt better. I felt hopeful. I felt...
Instantly, it's not over a week later.
less depressed. I felt like everything's going to be okay. I felt like a big giant cloud was lifted from my mind. And at that point, I thought it was probably just because this had been stressing me out so bad. Just the bloating, the brain fog, the hormonal things, all of that kind of stuff. And just the other day, I came
all that kind of stuff. How about you tell us what all that kind of stuff is? You miss out all the important bits and fill up with a load of bollocks. Fluff and word salad. You're not even telling us what we need to know. It's not mine. Hang on. I had something playing and I know that's nothing to do with me. Why doesn't it look like it's been watched? Oh, it is. Okay. Whatevs. Ignore me.
Across a short, and it was Jordan Peterson, who is also on Carnivore, and he was talking to another man. I'm not sure if he was a researcher, but he was talking about how the carnivore diet and the keto diet, anything that puts you in ketosis and helps your brain run off of ketones instead of glucose. In this case, they were definitely talking about dementia and Alzheimer's. And they were saying that as soon as they would put a patient on some type of diet that would get them into ketosis, a person that could not even tie their shoes would be able to tie their shoes the same day. And I was like, yeah.
Wow, brilliant. Is that why you did it? Because you don't know how to tie your shoes, do you? Or zip up your coat, or open boxes, or do any of that stuff. Is that the real reason you went on the carnivore diet?
Not even tie their shoes would be able to tie their shoes the same day. And I was like, yes, because I had planned on making a video just on how good I felt and how I had learned through, the whole calming your nervous system. So what I've got here is some talking points that I just want to bring to your attention. And if you have tried the carnivore diet and you have found that the rules are just too strict, you just can't do it, it's just too complicated, then I invite you to take my course because I do it my way.
You've read about it. It sounds too complicated. You don't think you can do it. You should come and talk to me. No, that's the last fucking thing they should be doing if they're confused and unsure, is talking to you.
Because I did not start out to do the carnivore diet, it wasn't that popular, I just did course correction. I had severe IBS, severe brain fog, menopause symptoms, bloating.
Severe brain fog? When the fuck did you have severe brain fog? Severe this, severe that, severe the other. You don't know severe, Lisa.
Swelling around my ankles, there's plenty of videos telling you all the things that I had. So ketones are the brain's premium fuel. When you're in ketosis, which happens naturally on the carnivore diet, and if you do the keto diet strict enough and the Atkins diet strict enough, then you will also get these benefits. That's why I always say, and it's tips like this are in my course, to get the ketone strips and test yourself every day so that you...
Tips like this are in my course. People know if they want to know if they're in ketosis, they get ketone strips. What is the benefit of you? What is the benefit of doing your course? What do you tell anyone that they can't fucking read in a tiny little fucking pamphlet or a bit of a story on a blog? They're going to go to you, they're going to pay you $333, $444, whatever the fucking price is now, depending on what day of the week and what way the wind's blowing, and they're going to get nothing for it. Do you give refunds if they get to the end and say, well, yeah, I knew all that?
You know you're in ketosis, and then you can tell. Your brain runs on ketones instead of glucose. Ketones are more efficient, producing less.
See, this is it. All she's going to do is read bollocks at you that she's copied from somewhere else. I can read. I don't need you to read for me.
Ketones instead of glucose. Ketones are more efficient, producing less oxidative stress and improving mental clarity. You guys, night and day. I feel like, honestly, every class or everything that I talk about, feminine energy, entrepreneurship, confidence, the way you view yourself, in every way, can be improved by getting your health and your mind in a good place. I feel like it is just the groundwork. Now, some of you may do better on being a vegetarian. Some of you may do better on being just vegan, or, you know.
Some of you may do better on being, by being, you fuckwit.
Mediterranean diet. I think all of us have, a different makeup and different tastes and what works for us. I'm just sharing with you what works for me and my experience. Reduced brain inflammation. This is a biggie. When we're eating sugar and junk food, and let me tell you, I did it all. And then I really tried to just eat salads. That made it worse because I am highly allergic. My body does not like the lectins, the oxalates, all of that stuff.
No, your body doesn't like getting the same fucking dinner 7 days a week, covered in 100,000 island dressing and all the other crap that was on it. That's what your body didn't like. Had you made a fucking salad at home, it would have been a different kettle of fish.
Onions really send me over the edge. So I've had to learn what I can eat and what I can't. I remember years ago, it was a friend of mine, and she was talking about the thing you have to get rid of is sugar. And she said mice, when given the chance, they're more addicted to sugar than they are to cocaine. And she was talking about how bad sugar was. And I was thinking, how bad?
What mouse have you ever met that's addicted to fucking cocaine? What a stupid sentence. Of course they'd be more addicted to sugar. Ever seen a mouse snorting coke? I haven't.
More addicted to sugar than they are to cocaine. And she was talking about how bad sugar was. And I was thinking, how bad can sugar be? It is, and that's the biggest thing. If you can get off sugar, then I don't think you have to do carnivore. But I do think the sugar is a big thing because it does cause the brain inflammation. It triggers it, which is linked to anxiety, depression, and brain fog. A zero-carb carnivore diet minimizes inflammatory foods and stabilizes blood sugar, creating a calmer, clearer mind. And it also improves being able to handle things. Like when stuff comes up, I feel so much clearer headed. Like I can handle whatever situation comes up. And I feel powerful. There is a certain amount of the feeling of power over your life. So cutting out sugar, I think that is the biggest thing, and that is so hard. I get it. Even for those of you that love fruit, I think you would have to eat minimal fruit to be able to stay in ketosis. But I do know a lot of carnivores that still eat honey and they eat berries. So, that might be something. That's the key for me, is finding your way of doing it. But because sugar can trigger inflammation in the brain, of course, that is going to bring on anxiety, depression.
You've just said that already.
And all kinds of mood disorders. And I can tell you guys, before I started carnivore, I was depressed. I slept a lot. I was depressed. I felt like this is it. that was as good as it's going to get. I was approaching 50. I was going through menopause. And I really felt like even my career was going to go downhill because I do love fashion. I love making videos. But depression affects you in every way. It makes you feel like uninspired. You guys know this. You don't feel, if you're feeling bloated and you're having to watch yourself try on clothes, you certainly don't feel like doing that. It's just very, very hard to do this job if you are not feeling good and you're not feeling confident and you're not feeling inspired.
Most of the people you're talking to aren't doing YouTube. And stop calling it your job and your career. It was a hobby, and now it's a hobby you make money from.
I think that's the biggest thing with me is I am addicted to being inspired. I am a visual person. I love looking at fashion. Even, you guys know, I love to watch like Milan on Trend.
And copying people, yes, we know.
And I love old movies. I love to get a visual of fashion in my mind. And now I don't have to feel like I can't wear that or I can't try that. Or maybe next year I'll be able to do that. Or that those days are over for me. I don't feel limited. So that is another big thing. Okay, the brain-gut connection. We've kind of touched on that. About 90% of your serotonin, which is your feel-good neurotransmitter. I love that feeling. When I just get a burst of feel-good, I can actually do that just by thinking of or visualizing different things. And that happens to me a lot. It happens.
What if you can't visualize? Do you know there's people out there that can't, Lisa? I bet you've got no fucking clue, have you? When they close their eyes, all they see is black. Then what do you do?
To me a lot, especially when I'm traveling. I'll have this just burst of feeling good. It happens a lot to me in the car. It happens a lot to me when I'm alone because I'm alone with my own thoughts. But it comes from your gut.
What's happening in her car seat that she has this burst of happy?
Not from your brain. So you can imagine if you are like me, where your gut is always mad. I really looked up allergic to food because it just seemed like no matter what I ate, my stomach got so upset. I was just living off of Pepto, Tums, Rolaids. I never went anywhere with all of those things. My sleep was destroyed because of my IBS. And I really think that the carnivore diet helps you with your sleep too, because the calmer you are and the less depressed and the more you can get your nervous system in check, that just helps with sleep also. I wear the Aura ring, so I'm really into my sleep and I love to play.
You don't wear it on the right finger though, do you? You never do anything by the rules. It's like you're supposed to wear it on a certain finger so you get I don't think it's a whole load of fucking bollocks myself, but so that it goes directly to your heart or whatever. But of course you don't want to wear it on that finger, and you don't want to wear it all the time. You only want to wear it when you want to wear it. And it's like, really, what is the point of you even fucking having it?
Play with different things. Like I've noticed if I eat too much, even carnivore, even steak, I don't sleep as well as if I back it down a little bit. There's all kinds of things that lead to good.
You've got an eating disorder, admit it. Nobody weighs themselves every single day in the nude and panics if they're 0.0001 over what they were the day before. And nobody cuts out, oh, I can't have cheese on that. Oh, I can't have eggs anymore. Oh, I better cut that off of there. Oh, I better have a smaller steak. You're going to be like fucking old school models soon, eating fucking tissue paper.
Good sleep and lead to a good, calm nervous system. And the two are just, I could not help but realize when I was listening to all the facts about the vagus nerve and how it reports to the whole body, just how important it is. And I have even told John, and I don't know if I've told you guys here, I actually feel like I can feel, like I am aware of how the inside of my body feels. And I know that's weird, but I think because my body is so calm most of the time, because I not only do I eat carnivore, but I eat the same things usually every day, that if I eat something a little different, like I don't eat bacon every day. So if I eat bacon, I can tell that my stomach is not as settled as it usually is. If I eat out and I can tell that I've eaten something a little bit different, maybe there's a little bit different seasoning or something, it usually doesn't upset me with one meal. It usually takes at least two to really get me, unless it's onions. Onions, for some reason, get me immediately. But I can almost feel and think about how the inside of my body feels. And I do think that is because I am so clear-headed and I am so in tune with my body and my digestion. Because the
I'm so in tune with my eating disorder.
carnivore diet simplifies digestion and can reduce gut irritants like lectins, oxalates, and plant anti-nutrients, leading to a better gut and mood stability. If you're new to this, please look up plant toxins. Like Dr. Gundry goes into it a little bit, but there's so much more available out there. You could get lost in all of the data. But what I always think of is, even with my cats, there are some plants that are cat friendly and some that are not.
And you've got a house full of plants that aren't. Why do I keep disappearing when I do that? Strange. And then I'm back again. Very weird.
Most are not. Now, that doesn't mean that they're lethal, that if they eat them, they're going to die. There are some, and I don't have any of those.
Liar.
But it is, you can see how even in the animal kingdom, they know what to eat and what not to eat. And I noticed even with my kitties, they don't really go around my plants. Like, say I bring a Monstera home and they are supposed to be toxic to cats. Well, what that means is they will make their mouth, they'll have a bad reaction to it, but it won't kill them. But what I've noticed is,
oh, they'll have a bad reaction, but it won't kill them, so that's fine then. I'll just have a fucking house full of Monstera plants.
Chanel, my calico cat, she's the only one that's really interested in plants when I bring them home. When I bring them in, I'll put it down. I haven't gotten any new ones lately. She will walk around and smell the plant. And it's like she knows whether she can chew on that plant or not. Now, when I first moved in this house, my mom and I were reading on all the plants that are good for animals and all of that stuff. And my mom got me a ponytail palm. Chanel, she ate all of it. She could not stay away from that ponytail palm. She destroyed it. But honestly, at the time, I didn't care because I was experimenting with that.
Experimenting. Why does she keep saying spearmint?
But honestly, at the time, I didn't care because I was experimenting with that. And so even animals can sense what they can eat and what they can't. And when I was talking to the girl at one of the plant places that I go to, she was actually a biology and chemistry major. She was in college, and she was talking about how it's the oxalates and the lectins, I believe the lectins, that would irritate their mouth. But you'll hear of oxalates even in UTI infections, and oxalates getting into your bones. That's another huge advantage to carnivore, is now I don't have joint pain. I had hip pain that I had to get a prednisone shot in. I had joint pain in my thumb right here where it was just terrible. I had to take Tylenol, and that's gone. So there's just so many. But today I wanted to mainly talk about just my mood and the way I feel about myself. It's more...
Ugh, are we going to have 15 minutes of her talking about herself non-stop? Not that she doesn't do that all the time, but normally it's interspersed with fucking lip liners and stuff. Oh, what? How can I talk about me for over half an hour? I know, I'll do a carnivore video.
More than just having self-control. It's more than that. it makes you feel just so powerful. It makes you feel like you are in control of your life in every way. And I think if you go back to my videos before age 50 and carnivore and go to them now, you'll see a difference in the way that I live my life. I am very in control. Sky is the limit. I want to live that fantasy life. I want everything. I want to be unrealistic.
I want.
I want to do everything I can with this one life that I've been given, and I did not feel that way before this. So dopamine and motivation boost. Stable blood sugar and healthy fats provide stable, steady energy, helping regulate dopamine pathways. So that's what we're talking about, is the vagus nerve and the pathways back to the brain. Even my daughter Brooke just came in and we were talking about, like when sometimes she likes to eat low carb, but she's 25. So a lot of times she'll notice that she's put on a few pounds and she wants to kind of.
Can I scream? Who's made your daughter fucking worry about putting on a few pounds? A few pound here or there isn't going to fucking kill her. And if she gets sick tomorrow, she'll lose those few pounds fighting the sickness. If she's as fucking thin as a rake like you and she gets sick, she might not get better. Have you thought of that? Why are you giving your daughter a fucking complex about her weight? Just because you've got one. Button it. Stop fucking going on about carnivore and weight. Gee.
So a lot of times she'll notice that she's put on a few pounds and she wants to kind of get it back down. And she was saying, well, I just won't eat. And I said, no, the answer is not to eat. The answer is just to eat beef or steak or burger or chicken or eggs is a superfood. Eggs is the best one, and even some cheese, because it's as close as you can get to not eating, because it does not spike your blood sugar. When we talk about intermittent fasting, being on carnivore is very similar to intermittent fasting because you're not spiking your blood sugar all day. I'm not saying it's the same, but it's a similar concept. And another thing that I have always noticed all of my life is that if I get really hungry, it makes me upset. And then if I get upset and I get in a mood, what makes you feel good? Eating something that is filling and good for you, like healthy fats. I don't know about you, but when I'm upset, I don't crave a salad or, vegetables too much. I crave something that makes me feel stable. Now, in the past, I might have craved comfort food like donuts, but what do? They almost make you feel worse afterwards. Carnivore diet just is so good. I would say eggs are probably one of the most comforting things. Okay, mental calm through the...
Let's just jump from what we're talking about to something else and not explain why eggs are good. Why are eggs good? Who listens to this fucking garbage from this woman? Please tell me. Anyone who listens to that load of bollocks needs shooting.
Vagus nerve. A healthy gut communicates...
If I hear about the vagus nerve once more, and I don't think... Is that what it's called? Because I've got a funny feeling it's something else. But anyway. Oh no, I'm thinking about something in your head. Ignore me. Why are we...
better with the brain through the vagus nerve. We just talked about that. By removing gut irritants common in many plant foods. And think about that, because I think when we're thinking about vegetables, we lose fact that they're plants. They have different mechanisms to survive like we do, like their seeds. Their seeds are their babies. So that's why usually if you want to try to start cutting out some things that would be irritating, it would be like the cucumber seeds, the seeds of fruit, because that is meant to go straight through you so that they can produce another plant. By removing gut irritants, you reduce false alarm signals.
Seeds are their babies. What about all the babies you eat that John grills on the grill every night for you? Weirdo.
To the brain, leading to more emotional balance and stress. Less anxiety from blood sugar swings. I think we all know about that. Carbohydrates. What do? They give you that instant high. That's why the rats are more addicted to sugar. We know how sugar gives us a spike and then it gives us the crash. Sometimes when I go to these style conferences, I'm sitting there waiting to get in the conference, and they'll have the like breakfast table out, and it's filled with granola and muffins and little sweets and things, and I think, yes, everyone's going to eat this. They're going to feel good for a little bit, and then they're going to need the afternoon nap, and I won't, because I haven't been eating that. I usually have...
But you still have an afternoon nap, so what's your excuse for that then?
Already gone to the hotel restaurant and had my eggs and bacon with cheese, and I feel so good, so calm. I don't feel bloated, and I have energy for the whole day. Whereas, looking on that, a lot of people would think that yogurt and granola with the fruit is healthier, but it does cause that sugar and carbohydrate spike. So the carnivore diet does keep the sugar stable, and you'll have less mood swings and more energy, and you won't need a nap like I did every day. These days, I have started treating myself to a nap. Like a lot of times I'll just think, I'm just going to lay down for a little bit. A lot of times I don't even go to sleep, but I've enjoyed like paying attention to my breathing, calming my nervous system down, heart rate, and things like that. And I kind of see it as a form of meditation. I'll think about things deeply and just contemplate things that I want to think about, things I want to do, different things I want to change in my life, different things that are important to me. And so I do enjoy that nap, but I in no way need it. Matter of fact, I usually just lay on my back and I'll put my phone...
Scary face. I've got such a supply of thumbnails, because before I started the video I just whizzed it along and stopped it and took a clip of wherever it stopped, and there was some doozies in there, and then I've got some more while I've been watching it, so we've got a load to choose from.
And a lot of times on my chest or beside me with like a noise machine or something like that, just to kind of get that calmness, and I've just really enjoyed it. And
a noise machine.
I've gotten even better sleep, which has kind of surprised me because I was scared that might affect my sleep or my deep sleep, but it hasn't. Okay, neuroprotection and longevity. Ketones don't just fuel the brain, they also protect it. I've really been hesitant / afraid to talk about a lot of neural things here on my channel, because carnivore is kind of like it's not as much as it used to be, but it's kind of like a hot button topic. And so, like I said before, I'm just here merely sharing my experience, my thoughts, and I'm wanting to get you curious. So look up ketosis. It doesn't have to be carnivore. I would say keto would be a great way to do it if you're not affected by plants. And look up how it affects dementia, Alzheimer's, of course, anxiety, ADHD, studies on schizophrenia, and it all goes back to the inflammation and what the brain is running on, how much more efficient. I think all of this stuff got discovered because with epilepsy, they started noticing in studies that people that lived in ketosis didn't have the seizures as much. I don't know a lot about that, but I know I have read that. So research suggests that ketosis may help protect against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's by reducing plaque formation and oxidative damage. And I've also heard with the swelling and the, inflammation too.
I thought you didn't have brain fog anymore.
Okay, increased mental energy. Without carbs causing energy slumps, many carnivore eaters report feeling mentally on all day. I just talked about that. It's funny, you know, a lot of these things, and this is rang true with my feminine energy or learning about the nervous system or so many things that I've started studying. It's like I read about it and I'm like, yes, that is exactly what I've been doing. That is exactly what I noticed. And I love it because it's like I got to experience it first. So when I read about it in these studies, I feel better about sharing it with you guys. Whereas in the beginning, yeah, I mean, it was so bizarre. I understood when people couldn't grasp it. But now I think it's become a lot more mainstream. The other day I had dinner with a friend, and she is also carnivore for gut issues. She's 58 years old, and she got a steak and 2 fried eggs. I got a burger and a fried egg. The burger was not good. So I'd also gotten a filet and ate most of that. That's what I do a lot of times. I'll get too much just because I don't know if one thing is going to be enough. And so I was talking to her about carnivore and why she started and everything, and she's going to a trainer now. And the trainer suggested that maybe she could cheat 1 day a week. And she said, "Have you ever done that?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Lisa, I felt terrible." She said, "I felt awful, just cheating 1 day." So it was so good talking to her and just seeing how well it's done for her. And I have seen the biggest difference in her. Now, she had the IBS and she was losing too much weight. So she's been able to get to a healthy weight. She's petite. She is beautiful. I've just seen the biggest. I feel like she's blossoming at 58 years old. And I tell her that all the time. I'm like, "You look so good. You look so good." And she said that even...
You look so good. You look so good. That sounds manic to me. Why does it matter what people look like? I'm surprised she didn't say, "Oh, you're so much prettier now."
Some of her clients that she has been working with for years have said the same thing. Now she's working out with a trainer. She just looks amazing. It did my heart good to spend that time with her in many ways, but that was something good that I wanted to share with you guys. You might find that you can focus for longer periods without needing a snack or caffeine to recharge. Absolutely. Now, I do still drink Diet Coke. That is a big source of controversy here on my channel. But I believe in living your life your way, and that works for me. With that said, I don't drink Diet Coke all day, every day. I drink it at lunch, sometimes in the morning, and then after lunch, I'm done. Then I drink either water, Sprite Zero. Another thing I discovered is I can tolerate aspartame. I cannot tolerate sucralose. 1 drink is fine, but if I drink sucralose 2 drinks back to back or have it in anything, it does upset my stomach. And it is such a distinct feeling. I will feel the IBS symptoms coming on. It is not all about going to the bathroom. It is it's almost like menstrual cramps, but in your back. It's kind of like menstrual cramps, that's what I would say. You can feel your insides. They are not happy. Okay, so improved sleep and recovery. We've talked about that. Better sleep comes from stabilized hormones and neurotransmitters like...
Better sleep comes from listening to Lisa do a fucking carnivore video.
Like GABA and serotonin that regulate sleep cycles. I am also on HRT. I'm on the patch. I can't remember. It seems like it's 0.05 milligram and progesterone. Just to put that out there. A lot of people say that is why I've experienced all these miracles in my life is because of that. So I invite you to try that first and see if it produces all these miracles, and then maybe come back to me.
Fucking condescending witch.
Your sleep, you guys, it means sharper thinking, improved mood, and more emotional resilience. Sleep is so important. And there was a time where I was watching a lot of entrepreneurial self-help videos, a lot of men, and a lot of people that just said, get up at 5:30, you don't need any more than 5 hours of sleep and all this stuff. And I could tell it put my body in stress and burnout. It was not good for me. Now that I have really, really been prioritizing sleep, I have less bad days. It just has helped in every way, even being more efficient. And
weren't you the one saying, I get up at 5:30 every morning, I love the time on my own, you should do it too, it's the best time of the day, yada 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 yada, and now you're saying, oh, actually that was wrong, which we told you, but you wouldn't listen.
More successful with just everything in my life. So I am a believer in getting the best sleep that you can. And like I said, I used to be anti-nap because I wanted to produce so much. I was just in that masculine energy, and it did not turn out good. It just really ran me down. It was not good for my relationships. It wasn't good for just almost anything in my life. So emotional stability and resilience. Many people notice they're less reactive and emotionally lighter when they're on the carnivore diet. I can totally see that. And it comes from a combination of the less inflammation and just feeling better. When you feel good and you feel confident and you feel rested and you feel so in tune with your body, it makes everything better. It makes you feel like you can take on anything. It makes you more adventurous. It makes you look forward to the rest of your life even more. I mean, I can't explain it. So let's see. A lot of modern brain fog and low mood are tied to modern foods. Removing them can result in lifting the veil. This is something that I've learned about a lot, is other countries, because you can't help but think in Italy or other countries, why are they not as overweight as the US is? Why are they not as depressed? Why are they not all the things? But they still eat bread. Their food has so much less junk in it. Like even their bread doesn't have the additives. Even yesterday, I ran in
What additives?
the grocery store and I wanted to just get some simple sandwich meat and cheese in case on a whim, like today, I have a meeting and I'm going to go to lunch a little bit later. So I was looking at all the ingredients.
Oh, I went out today because I might have missed lunch, so I wanted to make sure that I had food in the house for me in case I got hungry. But there's never any fucking food in the house for your child, is there? John's taking Will out to lunch. How about you buy fucking food? That's pretty. 50 quid for a top. What's happened to the price of clothes? If I ever get out of this house, I'm going to walk into a shop, aren't I? And I'm going to walk around the whole shop. How much?
Ingredients in sliced sandwich meat from the deli, and I ended up getting London broil and white American cheese just to do a ham and cheese roll up to get me through. And that's something that I don't think they experience as much. I think things are fresher there and they have way less ingredients. And so that's something I invite you to look up too. So I hope that this was a little insightful. I know a lot of times I talk about your hair, your nails, your skin, SPF, all the different things. And we do talk about that. In my carnivore course, we talk about cholesterol. We talk about...
We? Who's we? You're not having a conversation with anyone. It's you doing all the talking.
Sunscreen. We talk about how to talk to your doctor. We talk about being carnivore as a mom. We talk about carnivore traveling. So I will put the link to that down below. And I'm glad you're here. and this is new makeup today that I'm trying. I've been trying a lot of different things, and I wanted to get together a good office look. And I was thinking this might be a good one for you. My outfit is, let's see, it's a new one. I'm doing a collaboration with Quince coming up soon, and this is a suit. So a lot of times I talk about how much I love a suit, a matching set, and I think this is also a good office look. And I've paired it with my Gucci loafers that I adore. I'm going to try to find you guys a good lookalike for these because they are just coming in handy so much. So yeah, here is the look all together. And I also offer one-on-one coaching where we could do carnivore, and we can do style, we can do feminine energy, we can do just so many different things. So I'll put that down below too. My jewelry, my Sheila Fajl hoops, my Dean Davidson ring, OPI, put it in neutral on my nails. So I hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Look at that body there. Glad that's over. Doing my head in. She put me to sleep. You can all wake up now and have fun. She shut up. If you got to the end with me, thank you very much for sticking with me, and I will see you in the next one.